Jury in Virginia decides the outcome in the Johnny Depp Amber Heard defamation trial.
Yeah, Amanda Salas is here with celebrity divorce attorney Christopher Melcher.
Thank you. Yes, okay, we're going into week 7 as the jury deliberates in a Virginia courtroom. The past 7 weeks of the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial has truly captured the attention of the whole world. Last night, Johnny Depp performed in London with Jeff Beck. It's still unclear where Amber Heard is right now. The jury of 7 has to decide unanimously if one or both were defamed. So, what can we take away from this nearly 2-month-long trial? For some insight, we are joined again by celebrity divorce attorney Christopher Melcher. Christopher, I just want to say, you are such a big deal on Twitter, especially with this trial. You have people all over the world asking you your advice and tips on this. So I want to thank you for joining us today on Good Day LA.
Well, thanks, Amanda, and I love seeing your tweets, too. It's a great forum, and I just love that people are interested in the law and the process because this affects all of us, and it's a great learning opportunity.
It does affect all of us, and speaking of us, we're here in Southern California, which is where Camille Vasquez practices, right there in Orange County, and she's received a lot of attention for her strong performance as one of Depp's trial attorneys. How might this encourage other young attorneys, and even better, associates?
It's super important, Amanda. Camille's been a lawyer for 10 years, which is still earlier in her career. And we've struggled in the legal profession to promote young and diverse lawyers. And here we have an example of Camille going out as an associate in the biggest case going on in the world right now. So it is fantastic to see, and I'm hoping that this will inspire law firms and clients to promote young and diverse lawyers that we need to make this profession grow.
Agreed. There is such a strong wave of support for Johnny Depp coming out of this trial. But with that, there's an equally negative sentiment for Amber Heard. Why do you think that is, and how will Amber move forward?
I'm concerned about that, and certainly these are self-inflicted wounds that Amber has because we have heard the tape recordings or the audio recordings of her being really abusive and nasty towards Johnny, and her performance on the stand, many believe, is unbelievable. So this has now defined her more than the roles that she's played in the movies. And she needs to find a way to move forward from this. And it's really difficult to see that path, but I think it's going to start with taking some responsibility, which she has yet to do. But she is a victim here of how she has been portrayed, and she is responsible for how she's been portrayed in this trial.
It's true, and it's sad when you say that she is now more known for this trial than she was her movie roles. But I've said this on Good Day LA, and I want to know if you agree. I mean, when the verdict comes in, is anyone really a winner after 7 weeks of airing their laundry and being out millions of dollars? Is anyone really going to win?
Nobody really wins a case like this because of all that laundry that's been aired out for now 6 weeks. But Johnny came to clear his name. I think in the court of public opinion, he has done that. He has told his story. So I think he's accomplished that. But then again, we've heard Amber's story being told also. So these are things that really should have been handled privately with dignity when somebody breaks up. And unfortunately here, 6 years after the breakup, we're still hearing about it.
More time fighting each other than loving each other, as we're seeing. Do you think we'll see Johnny Depp in films again? It seems like the public is ready for his comeback.
I think so. He's the most talked about celebrity in the world right now, and it's positive sentiment. There's a lot of support behind him. So I think he's ready to reclaim and go back to making movies.
In the beginning of our interview, Christopher, you mentioned that this trial affects all of us. Can you share how this defamation trial can affect the everyday person?
Well, sure. I think that as Johnny's attorney mentioned in closing, that we spend our lives creating a reputation, but it can be taken away from us in moments. And I think us as society is sometimes too quick to judge. We want to believe and support people who come forward with accusations, but we need to balance that against the right of the accused to due process, some notice and opportunity to respond. And here, we didn't see that happen. So I think that the takeaway is to take our time before passing judgment on others.
Do you think that this trial could affect the hashtag #MeToo movement? It's sad to say that some survivors of abuse may be hesitant to come forward now after all of this. Could this affect it in a negative way?
Well, I think that is a concern, but again, it's when people come forward, they need to do so honestly and with some evidence, and they should expect scrutiny, because when they're making very serious accusations against another person, there's going to be a defense, and they need to understand that that's going to be exposed, and that's the risk that anyone faces when they go forward. I don't think that we see this as being a broad attack on Me Too. It's just that if you're going to make accusations, you need to have the evidence to back it up.
Absolutely. Christopher, you are a great go-to for all things celebrity, divorce, and law. And you can follow Christopher on Twitter at @CA_divorce. Thank you again for joining us this morning.
Thanks, Amanda.